Yo, what up, nyakos? It's your buddy Philko here, about to make a quick video. The lighting right now got a nigga looking real ugly, but whatever, doesn't matter. Not gonna change anything. But I noticed that for some reason people, well, not for some reason, that just some Americans, mostly Black Americans, have been coming to me, like whether through Facebook messaging, because you guys know you could Facebook message me anytime. You can message me at facebook.com/DrPhilOchko. So that's like Dr. Philko. No dot, just DrPhilOchko. Dr. Philko on Facebook. You can message me there or DM me on Twitter, whatever the fuck, or message me here on YouTube. And they message me and they ask me things about how do I do this? How do I meet Slavic women? How do I do this? How do you do this? How do you do that? Well, I decided if I'm gonna make this video, and if this video gets at least 1,000 views within 48 hours, I'll continue making them. A lot of people just basically want to know how to do what I do, or how to like get Slavic women, how to meet them, or what impresses them. I can just tell you what works for me, but I can tell you my experiences are a little exceptional. It's different. It's not like I'm just some guy who just starts talking to girls. No, it's different. It's usually the girls I meet when I'm out here are girls who knew me before I even saw them. They're girls who saw an advertisement or saw a video and all that stuff, So it's not exactly the same. I'm not just some dude. I've never been in Russia as just some dude. From the first time I ever came to Russia, I had fans. Ukraine had fans and stuff, so it's a little different. But I can tell you what they say about me when they like me after we meet, what they like about me the most, which is something that a lot of us Americans have as an advantage over these Eastern Europeans, something they don't have very much, especially East Coast black guys, because East Coast black guys are good at what I'm about to say, and I'm an East Coast black guy myself. So this is lesson one, I guess, if anyone watches this video. Lesson one is definitely be energetic. That is the biggest compliment I ever get from women out here, is the fact that I'm energetic. The one thing they always say is, I love your energy, you're always smiling, you're always laughing, I love it, it's addictive. The thing about the energy is, when I'm energetic, they're allowed to be them. They feel more allowed to be themselves. I spilled something. They feel more open around you. They feel closer to you, like they've known you longer. It makes you look more innocent and less threatening. Now, of course, a woman likes to feel safe. Of course she does. But when you're alone, because usually when I'm alone with someone, I act like a real dick face. I act real silly. I do a lot of crazy things. And they're just so impressed, because out here in Eastern Europe, that's not very common to see a lot of silly, laughing, joking, giggling guys. And to a lot of American guys, if you look at how I behave towards women, a lot of American guys, if they didn't know me, they would assume I was gay. Just because, I'm speaking like, you like that, yeah? They will assume I'm gay. But no, that's just me being nice, smiling, positive, and energetic. They absolutely just die for that. And they get used to it. It's almost addictive to a lot of them. It's very addictive to them. Of course, a lot of girls like the serious guy, whatever. But what stands out is being energetic and positive and smiling out here. It makes them feel like they can trust you and all that stuff. Because all of the girls who ever met me heard good shit and bad about me before meeting me. But what usually happens is, soon they meet me and they talk to me, that's it. It's a wrap. They don't care about what they heard, because I'm so positive. I'm so nice. I'm like, I know these people are just jealous of you. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And that's what happens every time. And then a lot of people may even say, oh, Phil, it's crazy how these girls, like, one will make a video with you, then another will make a video with you, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, because they just enjoy the time they have with me, because we have a lot of fucking fun. We're laughing, we're joking, we're playing. I always make sure to do things with the girl that'll stand out in her mind. Now, I'm not going to be butt naked with a banana with a banana peel over my penis or something when she comes home. I mean, that's a little too extreme. But I always like doing things that are just different. So maybe I'd scare her a little. Like when she comes in, I'll open the door, she won't see where I am, and when she comes in, I jump out of somewhere crazy. I always try to do something different that stands out in her mind that most people in the area in which I am pretty much don't do. Like, of course they buy flowers, of course they buy this and that, and those are things I can do, but less usual than what the average man average man does around here. Less usual. Because a lot of Russian and Ukrainian men are pretty romantic, like wearing shoes, they dress up, they do the flower thing, blah, 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 which is nice, but I try to take it in another direction. I'm the last guy to buy flowers. I'm the last guy to go to some nice place. I like going to exciting places. I like going places where we could be loud, where we could laugh, where it's more similar to like New York. You know what I mean? Where we're not trying to look rich and shit. Because there's a lot of places out here, not too much here in Ukraine, not that I've seen, but in Russia especially, where most of the places you go, it's like people buy a table, they dress nice, it's more like looking classy and looking like you have money, whatever, whatever. I'm not down with that shit. I've never been down with that shit, and I'm not down with that shit now. Even in Cyprus, most of the Russian places were fancy, upscale places. I wasn't down with that. You know what I mean? I like loud craziness, maybe girls dancing on the table, stuff like that. And I just like keeping her heart rate up. That's my thing. I like keeping her heart rate up. I like engaging in conversation, constantly laughing, constantly moving, constantly talking, just going, going, going. Now, some girls I can do it with constantly, and I mean, some girls, it's a little hard. Some girls, it's like, we'll talk a little bit, we'll talk here and there, blah, blah, blah. Then we kind of run out of things, and then we'll literally be like, like, that sucks. That sucks. You know, that it happens sometimes, but you just gotta figure the person out. What topics gets her excited? What topics make her eyes open wide? What topics makes her body face you and get her arms moving? Because when Russian and Ukrainian people speak, they typically don't move that much. They may, except for when they're angry, they typically just speak and they're kind of stiff compared to Americans. Once they start moving and they're speaking about positive things, you want to use that subject or subjects similar to it to keep her heart rate going. So basically what I'm saying is when you're trying to impress an Eastern European woman, especially when you're in her country, I would advise you keep her heart rate up, be exciting, especially when you're in private. Now, when you're in public, that's a little different. When you're in public, you gotta feed off of her. Because some girls I walk around with in public, they get very serious because they're not too comfortable with people staring at them. So what I usually do is, I'll pretend like I don't notice, and I'll just maybe hold her hand and I'll just ignore everyone. I won't give her negative emotions. I won't give her the excited, positive emotion either, because I don't want to grab attention to us. So just like, oh yeah, this looks nice. Yeah, this looks nice, whatever. And I'll just hold her hand and be nice. But some girls want people to get mad. Because some girls will see someone staring, they'll just kiss you. With those kind of people, hey, fuck it. Go all out. Be loud. Be silly. Be crazy. Run around. Slap a butt in public. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, because those girls, some girls like grabbing attention to it. And some girls are, no offense to them, they're stupid. And I've said this when it comes to this topic that I'm about to speak about. I've said this to a lot of black guys who are planning on coming to Russia, planning on going to Ukraine. I'm like, look, you got to understand something. That a lot of these girls, if they know in advance, a lot of these girls don't know what it's like being in an interracial relationship in Eastern Europe. So they're kind of naive to it. I wouldn't say they're stupid, they're naive. So, oh, let's go walk around here. Oh, let's go walk around there. But if something goes down, they ain't doing shit. Now, that's not all the Eastern European girls. Let me tell you, there are girls that if they're around me, I'm safer with that girl around than when she's not around. But the vast majority of girls, when they're around, it's more dangerous for me than when they're not around. So if I walk around by myself, the odds of something happening are much less than when I'm walking around with this girl. So there's basically three kinds of girls. There's girls who are naive to the whole thing. They're extremely dangerous. They just say, oh, let's go walk around wherever, do whatever, because they don't understand that something bad can happen to her or to you. They don't understand because they've never been in a situation, because odds are you're the first black guy they ever walked next to, and you can usually tell you're the first black guy they ever walked next to when they say some stupid shit like, why is everyone staring at us? It's like you knew food. You knew. No, you brand new. So a lot of times girls will have to offer you to walk and shit. You just gotta say no. It depends on a girl. You gotta understand a girl. But then there's some girls who have some experience, and they may say something like, let's walk around, you, me, and my friends. My guy friends will walk around this. So those girls who want to walk around, because they love walking around. Those girls who know how to walk around and be smart about it. Or they'll walk around a place where there's other black people. Or they walk around a real crowded area. But there's some girls who just aren't hip to it, and they'll just want to walk around any time of night, whatever, just because I guess they feel if they were to just go to your house they'll like kind of feel bad. It's like, oh, first time knowing you, just met you yesterday, I'm just coming over your house. They'd rather walk around and play the slow roll with you, which they wouldn't mind coming over, but usually got to convince them that, hey, I want to come over just to watch a movie, do something nice. They don't want to look like whores, basically. And the third one are the girls. This is rare, but I've met it on occasion. Third one are girls who are willing to fight, and they usually carry something on them. That's the third one. Those are the best girls to be around. Basically, the ride or die bitches. So, I mean, I'm not mentioning any names, but they can carry anything from. I've had 3: mace, knife, and even a gun. 3 different things that certain girls have carried when we go out. Because some areas are real fucking bad that I've been to, and some areas are okay. So you may not need a weapon, but sometimes girls may carry a weapon. Some girls do, some girls don't. The vast majority don't, but some do. You know, like the one thing about pepper spray and mace is that it may seem like a bitchy weapon, but it's really not. Because unlike a knife can only get like one person at a time. But with pepper spray, mace, whatever you want to call it, that shit gets a lot of people. It gets everybody at the same time. And it disencourages everybody, even including yourself a little bit, from engaging in some activity. You just want to get away from that shit. You know what I mean? And when you're holding that shit, that's it. You don't want nothing to do with it. So even if somebody has a knife and your girl got pepper spray, she used that shit, it helps a fucking lot. It helps a whole lot. So a girl with pepper spray, I would say that's enough. That is enough. It's enough to keep you generally safe. And some guys that want to carry pepper spray on them, you don't have to then just walk around with a girl who carries it. You know, some guys don't feel, this is extremely rare, some guys don't feel comfortable without a girl who has a gun. It's extremely rare, but some guys are like that. And it's usually not the black African guys, usually like, you know, Chechen guys or something. They like their girls or for them to have a gun. It's how it is. Some people are like that. Those people, you're not too much in luck because there's not that many guns and shit out here. It's not that many. It's hard to find one, and it's very illegal, and I would never advise you to carry a gun. But if that girl from that country, citizen, is willing to do it for you, and, you know, I mean, the odds of you getting searched at random here is much less than in America. I've never been searched. You know, unless I'm going through a metal detector or some shit. It like really doesn't happen. So the odds of you getting caught with something are extremely low. Like, they really don't do that. Just, oh, look, let me search you. Nah, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Even if you're black, I've never been fucking searched for no reason. But if you are like Caucasian or something, they might stop you a lot. And when I say Caucasian, I mean like the Muslim people from like the Caucasus. If you are Caucasian, they may stop you a lot to check for your visa and passport, whatever, and they might search you too. Because I do see, in Moscow especially, I see a lot of cops stopping Caucasians. But I've never been stopped. I've never seen a black person get stopped. I've never seen it. So only time they'll stop a black person, and this happens to me every time, is when you're coming out of the airport, they have extra security. And it's like an extra metal detector just in case. And they always pick me. And they always pick the other black people. They always pick us. Let the white people go, they always pick us. But other than that, nah, the odds of you getting searched is very low. So basically, this was really about 2 things. This was about, and I hate speaking loud, my voice is killing me. This is about 2 things. This is about protection, and it was about having positive energy. Now, I don't know how I went on to the weapons thing, because the weapon things is something I'm starting to learn about. I'm starting to learn more and more about weapons and legal weapons, and I look into it just because I'm not one to want to hurt people and shit. That's not me, but you know, you never know. And the only time I would really carry something on my person is when I'm with a girl. So when I'm by myself, like, I never worry about myself. I got my music, I don't give a fuck. I'm ready to throw down. If I have to throw down, I'm ready to run if I got to run, because I always got my sneakers on, so I don't give a fuck. I don't think many white people are faster than me. So, you know, I really don't give a fuck. I don't think about it. But when I'm with a girl, it's different because you can't allow things to happen to her when she's with you, you know, especially when you care about her. So it's different. And then if something does go down with her and she's there, you're gonna feel it disencourages her. It's gonna discourage her from wanting to see. Discourage. It's gonna discourage her from wanting to see you again, because she's gonna be scared. You know, you don't want that. So sometimes you may just have to say, you know, why don't you just come over to my house tonight and we'll just stay here. Not that you're trying to be a pervert, but just because you're trying to, you know, you're trying to impress her. You don't want anything bad to happen, or you don't want her to feel uncomfortable. Maybe you have to explain things to her first, like, you know, you've never been in an interracial relationship. So one of the most important questions to ask, and this is going to be part 2, is going to focus on this question. One of the most important questions to ask a girl when you first meet her, when you first start talking and it looks like she's into you, is, have you ever had a black boyfriend? Or have you ever kissed a black guy? It's extremely important to ask that, and I'm going to tell you why. That's basically it, people. Let me know what you think. I'm out. Later.